Shalom, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as always, we'll be talking about our weekly Torah portion, Parshas Tisa. Yes, we have a census in the beginning, but the main golden stain of this weekly Torah portion is the story of the golden calf. Yes, we sinned. Yes, we transgressed. Yes, Moshe broke that because of that tablets that were by Hashem himself. Yes, he made the dust out of the golden calf. He let us drink and he punished us. He slaughtered a lot of people. But then he goes and pleads our case in front of Hashem. And what Hashem tells us, it's the first time that he tells to Moshe why he wants to destroy Jewish people, why it's impossible to deal with a nation like us. And he calls for the first time in the Torah, and then it repeats it many times, stiff-necked people. Like, I not always understood this term, but as more as you work with the Jewish people, you clearly understand what does it mean. It's not just this part, sometimes it hurts when you work a lot, but it's called that we are stubborn. We are not ready to accept whatever Hashem gives us. The problem is not the problem, but it's a very interesting approach that Moses takes to plead the case of the Jewish people, to protect us against Hashem's claims. He tells to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, stay among us, save this nation because we stiff-necked people. Seriously? This was Hashem's argument. This is a persecution argument that he wants to destroy it because we stiff-necked people, Kshei Orev. And then Moshe Rabbeinu takes it, turns it upside down and tells, this is why you have to save Jewish people. Obviously, our sages, commentaries, they pay attention to this inconsistency in Moshe's argument, or opposite, a very strange argument. And some of them explains that, the Jewish people, this is our character, what can we do? And you just hug us and forgive us and we will, this is who we are. This other argument says, yes, but you have to, this is our nature, but you have to separate the action from the person, and because we did it because we stiff-necked people, but we are good people at the end. But I think Moses goes here in much deeper claim, much deeper argument with much more effect on a historical, throughout the history, on a historical level. What Moses tells us, yes, we are a very stubborn people. No argument about this. And it's impossible to argue with the Jewish person that doesn't want to go to the synagogue. But when the Jewish person goes to the synagogue, start to observe Torah mitzvahs, we are stubborn as we were against it. We become fanatics of the Judaism and we're ready to sacrifice our life just to remain Jews. We have throughout the history numerous hundreds of stories of the Jewish people that were ready to sacrifice their lives only to remain the Jews. We express the same stubbornness in the service of the Hashem as we may express in our transgressions. There's a story that brought in a Yosef Flavius that tells about the Caesar Caligula who, as an emperor, he wanted to install his monument in the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, in the Second Temple, which is completely prohibited. And he sent his warlord to work out this project. He comes to the city of Akko, and the Jewish people say that we were ready to die, just not to put his monument in the Holy Temple. He comes to the city of Tiberias, and the same thing, tens of thousands of the Jewish people fall down on the ground and say, please don't do that, we plead with you, please don't put the monument in the temple. So the warlord, he asks, are you ready to start the war against the Caesar? And the Jewish people say, no, we're not going to start the war against the Caesar, but we are ready to die, just not to transgress God's commandments. This is called the stiff-necked people in the holiness. So dear Jewish people, remain stiff-necked, remain stubborn as we are naturally, but just take the stubbornness in the proper direction. Thank you very much. Good luck. I see you next week.